Welcome to the Troubled Artists Podcast, Episode 34, Connar Brown Sprenger.
Welcome back to the Troubled Artists Podcast. Today I am here with Connar Brown Sprenger. Connar Brown Sprenger is an actor, voiceover artist, editor, and producer. Connar approaches every project with a blend of playfulness and professionalism. She commits fully to the work, embraces creativity in all of its form, and isn't afraid to get a little messy in the process. A natural collaborator, Connar is passionate about storytelling and loves creating work that resonates and brings people joy. So Connar, thank you so much for being on the show. So before we begin, I do like to ask this one question. Tell us in your own words, who is Connar Brown Sprenger?
Connar Brown Sprenger is, she's a playful little energetic artistic goblin is maybe the best way to describe who Connar Brown Sprenger is.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, that's good. I mean, we're always, messy and being creative and stuff. So it's nice to have just like a weird description of ourselves, I am curious to know just how did you get into acting in the first place? Was it something you discovered early in life or later on in life? Just kind of tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate and have been pretty much surrounded by theater, acting, and arts from a very young age. My grandfather on my mom's side actually co-founded the theater department at Virginia Tech. So he was always very into the arts. He was a teacher there. And then my parents, they actually met at a cast party of a production of The Mikado that they did in college. So it's just kind of been in my blood. Theater, acting, art. So they've been very supportive, which then allowed me, of course, to just always have fun. I literally always, there's home videos of me making little improv songs and jingles of all my stuffed animals. So they all had theme songs. I would do interpretive dancing with beads and props. So I was very always creative and artsy. But I do kind of say that I think the moment that I went, acting in theater is what I want to do is, it was in middle school so I went to Japan, Tokyo, Japan. And so this was they were offering, it was kind of like an electives showcase. So I was in fourth grade, and then fifth grade was like, hey, now you get to do electives, so pick and choose what you want to do. Here's a showcase of some of the things. And of course, one of them was theater and drama. And I just saw how much fun they were having. And I was like, this is the elective I'm going to do. Though I'm now remembering as well, I even did choir theater performances as early as second grade. It's kind of like if you were in the scene, you would be on stage, but the choir was always in the background just singing the songs. And then when you were done with your role, you would step back up into the bleachers. So I guess it was just a very stylized staged reading performance recital. I don't know. But truthfully, in second grade, we did a production of Snow White and the Seven Jockeys. It's like a Roald Dahl interpretation of Snow White. And I was the huntsperson. So I guess the loosey-goosey wild way is how I got into acting is I always was.
Mm-hmm. Hey, yeah, I mean, it's great to hear, just really cool that you got to go to Japan and just do these performances and choir, and I mean, for me, my passion is filmmaking. So
Yeah.
I've always done I know you mentioned you did little videos with your stuffed animals and stuff. So
Yeah.
I did little videos like that, with my Legos. I remember I did little stop motion
Yes.
videos and just little silly videos with my cousins and my brother. We go around doing these lip syncing music videos and stuff. It just really ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, we would always do as well. It was more of an excuse to get the children away so the adults can kind of party, talk, and drink. But anytime we had big family gatherings, the adults would always go, hey, go make some kind of sketch, go make some theater thing that you're going to perform for us. Here's make sure that it involves a cup. All right, go leave, come back in an hour and show us what you made.
Yeah, no, definitely. Every time there was a family event at our house, the parents, they'd be doing their thing. And then we would literally be like in the corner making our videos and like doing that stuff in the backyard, So yeah, we always
Yeah.
find a way to make something, So we made sure like, and it was like kind of like like a quick thing because like we didn't like at back then we didn't like write a script or like do any of that stuff. We just kind of just got together and we're like, okay, what do we want to do? Okay, let's do some comedy. Okay, great, let's do something. Okay, and then go, and then we would just like just do whatever comes to our mind, and just doing that. So it's just like silly,
Absolutely.
ridiculous stuff. Well, I guess my next question would be like, let's say that you get a script and you really like the character and the story. What's sort of your like main preparation when it comes to a particular role?
Yeah. My goodness, it kind of depends as well on what type of project it is. Because I do so many types of genres and pieces, like with live theater. Then you also have like musicals, which are grand and larger than life, than plays. And then you got films, which are so much more intimate. Um, I would say, so I would specify myself as more like of a character actor, specifically in the theater world. So, when it comes to theater pieces, I kind of honestly, I sort of start with the physicality of the character. Like, obviously, I read the script and I sort of get the hints and clues of like what kind of person, what kind of character this person is. But then I also think about the physicality of how they carry themselves. Are they very, I have a lot of training in like physical theater, some clown, some mime work. So I think a lot about like how this character would hold themselves or move. Like if they're very timid, they're probably very mousy and they'll probably kind of like hide themselves in themselves, if you know what I mean. Like they're very like they might hold themselves a bit more. They lack confidence, versus if someone's a bit more of a powerful character, they probably have a lot more confidence. They would very much expose themselves to the world because they have nothing to fear with their power. And so I also do a lot of like ensemble roles or perform, like I'm an actor that does like a track, which means that they would do multiple different characters in this show. So having to think about like these are different characters and different people, so you want to make sure that they are distinct in how they behave and how they act and how they perform, so that you, even though they're performed by the same person, which is me, you want to be able to clearly see them as distinct people, as distinct characters. But then when it comes to maybe more film world, I have some more training with like Meisner and Stanislavski and kind of the internal emotions that I have experienced in the past that I can potentially try and recreate or draw out from memory and incorporate it into the character in this moment and the emotions of the piece. So those are kind of probably the main techniques that I use. I definitely read the lines and read the script a lot to get the whole picture of the piece, not just who my character is. Yeah. So to too long didn't read. I have a lot of ways I prepare.
Yeah, no, it's good that you have so many different techniques and stuff when it comes to both theater and
Yeah.
in film. Do you have like a preference of what you like prefer? Do you like theater acting or more film acting?
Oh man.
Or do you just like both of
I
them?
I like both of them for different elements. Like, I guess I do love probably a little bit more theater. That's just what I have so much more experience in. And the energy of live theater is just, it's amazing. Like, I can't even describe it. It's a rush. And the fact that you get to take this journey chronologically every time you perform, is such a treat as well. Because as you're mentioning, like with film, it's pretty much never in order. Like it's all over the place because you're filming depending on schedules, locations, timing, all those just different variables. So being able to explore the character chronologically is always so much fun. It's such a ride. Plus, you never know what can go right or wrong on live theater, and some of the things that you just experience is such a treat. Sometimes in the moment you're a little bit terrified or you're like, well, that happened. But always looking back, there's such fun stories, and the community and ensemble and the family that you usually make with the cast is always so heartwarming. I have so many great, amazing friends from all the shows that I've performed in. But then with film, it's also so exciting too, because you can do so many really cool things with like with effects, if that's the kind of film you're making. The fact that if you do mess up, you just get to do it again. The fact that it is so much more intimate, that you really have to like act, but you're not acting, like that fun, just the camera is like right in your face, so all we're capturing is just a little glimpse of emotion in your eye. Like those things are super cool and exciting, and I love how collaborative filmmaking is, just like how many people are involved, and how like it's such a supportive group as well. Like theater and film, there's so much support in these two different arts, and I love the community. I love making it with friends and acquaintances and meeting new people. Like I just love making things together.
I do want to highlight some of the films that you've been working on, because I've seen some of the stuff that you've done, and I kind of want to talk about that. So
yeah,
I guess first off, I know you were working with like this production company, She Them Productions. So I've seen a couple of those short films, and like, you know, those like little series like Trailer Broads and Platonic Girlfriend and Relieved.
Yes.
I am curious to know just like the whole story behind that, you know, like those short films, or just like that, how you got involved with that production company.
Absolutely. So I'll even back it up a little bit. So to kind of tie everything together as well, of just like taking the risk, just doing it. So during COVID, during COVID, I just couldn't stand still. Like I get very antsy. I love creating. I love living in a creative world. So I tried to just kind of create whatever I could and wanted to, and ended up taking a create your own content class hosted by Kathy Ranking, like a former casting director. And I joined it so I was already friends with Brittany Devon and Fiona Campbell, and we joined and took this class together, and then it sort of turned into this writer's room with us three and some other amazing people. And we wrote this pilot called Breakout all together.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of all getting a bit antsy, and we're like, we want to create this. Like, we want to actually shoot this first pilot episode. So we put in the work. We did classic like crowd fundraising, and we were able to get, I think there's like 7 of us, and we're all from different places. Like I was based in Chicago. Brittany and Fiona were based in Grand Rapids. Our friend Amanda was in New York. Our friend Will was in Atlanta. And then we were able to get enough money to get everybody to Grand Rapids to film this pilot. And of course, like we had never made anything like this before. Like I have made the equivalent of like iMovie projects, or picking up my iPhone and just recording some things for laughs. And we found like a DP, we found some PA help. Like it was super minuscule what we had, but we filmed it in one location, got it filmed, and then we decided we had a little bit of extra wiggle room, and my friend Brittany had written this series called Platonic Girlfriend. And so the first season of Platonic Girlfriend was filmed in like 2 days on an iPhone. And I think she had really only written maybe 1 or 2 scripts. And then we improvised all the other episodes of season 1, and just, you know, we just did it. We just went for it. We just did it to do it. We wanted to get some content and some work out there. Once we finished filming Breakout and those episodes of Platonic Girlfriend, pretty much everyone else had gone home, but I decided to stay a day or 2 later because they're my friends, so I wanted to hang out with them. And then they had mentioned that they wanted to form a film production company called She Them Productions. And pretty much from that, I want to call it Creative Week Retreat. Pretty much, it was just like a long weekend of constant just filming and creating content, which was so much fun. But yeah, they had said like, hey, we want to create a production company. Are you like, would you want to be involved? And I truly hesitated for a little bit, being like, oh, I need to think about it. I don't know, like, finances, life, I don't know. So I just kind of left them on red, left them on maybe for a little bit. But then I want to say like, I think we filmed that in the summer, and then like that winter, something just clicked, and I was like, I missed that. And I called Brittany and went, I want to be involved. And so now She Them Productions is this production company that's owned by currently now Brittany. And it's pretty much just a fun name so that anytime we want to create something, we can. So we ended up doing another season of Platonic Girlfriend with a bigger budget, with more support. We filmed Trailer Broads, I think like last year, 2 years ago now. I don't know. Oh, goodness. But again, it's just, we do it really rough and dirty of like, we just kind of improvise some loose scripts. We find resources that we have, like that trailer is Brittany's, and we get some friends to help film it with us. And so it is really like super minuscule, super rough and dirty, super just like 1 or 2 takes, get it done. But it's just for us to kind of hang out, create, and put some sort of content out into the world. And I have some editing experience. I took a video production class in college so that if I ever did want to create my own content, I at least knew how to piece it together. Yeah, She Them Productions is this fun production company that Brittany and I collaborate through and create whatever comes to our brains. And we also have a silly little iconic improv duo called Chicago Ned and Chicago PD. Just 2 bros who are not good at their jobs, but they appreciate each other's quality time.
Yeah, that was something I was going to mention. Yeah, because I remember also seeing those Ned and PD skits, really funny stuff. But yeah, like it's really cool. Like, like Breakout was also another one I was going to mention because that was really cool. And I saw that you guys also had submitted that to several like film festivals and stuff like that. So getting like the work really out there, so it's really cool that you were really able to establish a production company. And again, just like you said, being able to collaborate and work with great people like with Brittany and all the people you've met, on Breakout, so it's really cool, again, just finding the right people, and just making stuff, and not letting, the whole COVID thing, stop us, because it seems like, that didn't stop you guys from making great work, and getting your work out there. So, you guys have just found ways to just continue to create stuff and be creative,
Thank you. But also, kind of speaking of like just doing it, like, I've also very recently just wrapped a little short film that I made with some friends and some amazing, talented people. It's about this. Basically, I wrote this little script in like 30 minutes, not really thinking much about it. And then I met up with my friend Jack, who's a DP, and we were just kind of chatting, and he was like, I kind of want to make something. And I was like, yeah, I feel kind of antsy to make something too. And then I just went, oh, I guess I have this like pitch. I have this like little script about this person who gets possessed by a grilled cheese. And he's like, I'm down. I had some disgusting like black goo face possession, moldy face look, with just like goo coming out of my mouth, beautifully made by Natalie and Alex. And we were just filming in my apartment complex, and we also were able to get permission from like this co-working space to film in one of their little offices. And we were just, I was just disgusting looking and dripping, but walking around as if nothing's wrong. And we're just filming this short piece.
Yeah. I think I saw some of those pictures like on Instagram or something. Yeah. Like the makeup and all that. It's really, really cool. But yeah, it's really cool, just like you wrote something, you wanted to make it, you went and you made it, so that's just really cool. Like we said, there's no excuse to like not make stuff.
Yeah.
You have an idea, you want to make it, just go out and make it,
Exactly. I literally asked like friends that are also in the artistic world to be like, hey, would you like to like help me with this piece? Like my friend Tommy, I was like, hey, would you like to help kind of AD and co-direct this with me? I'm like, as mentioned with Natalie and Alex, who did the special effects and the makeup, like I worked with them on some other shoot that I helped with and thought of them. It's just kind of, it's who you know, and also don't be afraid to ask and to connect with people. And because, yeah, the independent filmmaking world here in Chicago is amazing. Like there's so many wonderful, talented people. And yeah, you never know. And I asked so many people as well, like, hey, I know it's not like the most exciting job, but like, would you be down to help PA for this? And so many wonderful people were like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to. And now I owe them all such amazing favors as well. But yeah, it's just do it, just make it, just try, just ask, just get messy, maybe make a few mistakes, but now you've learned and you can improve for the next time.
Yeah, absolutely. You just got to keep on going. There were two other projects that I wanted to highlight.
Absolutely.
From yours. The first one was Couch that I saw on,
Yeah.
I think they just posted it on YouTube, and I was able to get a chance to see it. And that was a more like dramatic one because I've seen your other work, and you've done more like comedy and lighthearted stuff. So that was definitely more of a more dramatic turn for you. Could you maybe explain like the process behind that short film?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, so I found this project this project on, I think it was backstage.com. I think originally I kind of reached out to potentially be the hand because I'm also a puppeteer, and so in one of the casting things they had like hand, and I was like, ooh, I could be a hand. And then they reached out and had me read for the character I was. And yeah, I just kind of released my inner bitch. Yeah, I had fun with it because I don't usually get to play like more mean, intimidating like characters. It was just fun, and I got to Emily, who is my scene partner. She was wonderful to work off of as well. She was very sweet and giving me a very like meek presence towards my more aggressive character. So it was just very fun to play with and just check in after everything, being like, hey, I'm not mad. Hey, what's up? Yeah, and it was nice. Yeah, so director Ross what was nice as well is that we had a few rehearsals. So that's always like, I know that's not always possible a lot in the film world. So it was nice to even just have a few moments where we could connect and talk about the characters and figure out the relationship and why we're acting the way we are to each other, and kind of this big question of like, is there actually still love there? And if there is, when does it show? And if there isn't, why isn't there? So that definitely helped a lot as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. Before I get into the next film, I just kind of question just popped in my mind. What are some of the qualities that you look for in a director?
Definitely one that is open to like discussion, collaboration, asks questions versus like the equivalent of like a line read kind of vibe. Like I understand if you're coughing. I understand if you're a director and you have like a very specific vision. I appreciate asking questions or maybe hinting at some kind of emotional world versus telling me how to do it. Like trying to get it out of me versus telling me to do ABC kind of vibes. Yeah, because I've worked with directors who are very like pretty much almost line read a whole script to me, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not actually acting anymore. I'm just like, this is almost like more voice acting, which I also do, but this is not acting for this film. But then I've also had directors who have been so loose, and they've just been like, oh, do what you whatever, which can sometimes be fun. But if I'm struggling to figure out what's going on or why my character is doing a certain thing, it's nice to have at least a little bit of guidance and help. And sometimes I do ask of like, hey, what's my motivation for this moment right here? So it's just kind of finding a nice median. Obviously being able to communicate to actors is a big one. I know there's some directors who I've worked with that are just very timid or very scared, and I maybe feel intimidated by actors. I don't know. But yeah, did that answer it? I feel like I went all over, but
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it is great to have like that middle ground of like having like, the direction, but also staying open to improv. And I feel like that's a great way, because there's a lot of great moments that could happen that you didn't originally intend, and it turns out like much better than what you had written. So I always like those kind of moments, like where if they have an idea like, oh, can I try this? It's like, yeah, sure, let's try that, because again, we have all these takes, and if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
you can use the next take, so again, that's like the beauty of film, just like overall, just finding like a nice middle ground is a good qualities in a director.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's kind of like it's like a chemistry thing, like how sometimes you get two actors who have good chemistry, like having that good director and actor chemistry is a good bonus, like just having that relationship.
Absolutely. So I guess the last project I wanted to mention was Temptopia, that
Yeah.
I saw it was like for like part of like the Chicago like 48-hour film project, or like
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really cool, yeah, could you just like just talk about like that process, because I know it's like it could, making a film is one thing, but being able to do it in just 2 days is like a whole nother, could be a whole different challenge, so kind of just talk about like the process with that and how it turned out.
Yeah. So I had the lucky, easy peasy job of, in quotation marks, just being an actor for this 48-hour film festival. So I got to show up on set for like maybe 12 hours and then go home. But my friend and great collaborator who also helped with the grilled cheese project, and we're working on a piece, we're writing a script right now too, for a feature. But so he was part of this Chicago style team. He was directing it, and he and some friends were kind of creating a collection / roster of actors that they could call if they needed. So I was one of those actors that was just kind of on this list that if they decided to use, they would use. Because what the process is, you create a team. Then I think it's like the Friday at like 6 p.m. you go to this big meeting hall, and then you get assigned a genre. So you don't even know what type of piece you're getting until this time. Then all of the teams have to have the same prop, which this year it was tape. So it could be used any kind of way, like actual tape, like VHS tape, crime scene tape, just whatever your interpretation of tape is. Then they also had to have the name Danielle Streinbecker, I think, who had to be a consultant. And then all the scripts had to have the line, why do you ask? So they really make sure that you can't do really any kind of pre-planning beforehand, that you just got to make sure that you get your genre, your props, your lines and everything, and then you write the script. What I think Tommy had said was that they did reach out to potential locations beforehand so that they could at least have a spot so they could film. And they had this co-working space. So that's where this kind of office location setting for Temptopia is rooted in. So they had the location. So that's how they were going to film there. They were going to film it. But yeah, basically at like, I think 10 p.m. on that Friday, I got the call sheet saying like, hey, we're going to use you. See you at like 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And we filmed Temptopia all in one day. And then I believe that that Sunday, they were doing all the post-production and everything. And it got third place overall for the Chicago films in the 48-hour. And we were also nominated, I believe, for Best Director and Best, maybe Best Ensemble as well. I don't know, but definitely also Best Performance in a Supporting Role for the performer Ruth, who played Danielle. But yeah, again, I think that was like a big, just collaborative process of finding all these people that they have worked with before and or wanted to work with, because we had they made an amazing team. Like they had like an AC, they had an AD, they had the director, they had grips, they had gaffers, they had an amazing sound department, they had PAs, they had, the location set up. And so they had a beautiful group of talent and collaborators that helped make this piece in 48 hours and made it become, third place overall for the festival. So yeah, that's why I say I had the easy job of just being the actor showing up for 12 hours that day. Because yeah, Tommy, Janice, and Alyssa were, I think, the main head honchos for the Temptopia team. And luckily the script didn't really have any dialogue with the exception of the required lines. Again, it was luckily just kind of more of a physical journey of, how is my character feeling cold at this moment? How's my character feeling hot at this moment? So I luckily did not have to really memorize any lines, because that would have, I know, been an additional just like, oh, okay, I got to memorize these lines really, really quick because we've only got maybe 1 or 2 takes and we got to finish this in like 12 hours. But it was exciting and very fun to do. And I'm honored that Tommy, Janice, and Alyssa thought of me and wanted to work with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is really cool. And, I saw it was also screening at the Music Box Theater, which was really cool. But yeah, it's really cool that you got that recognition, the third place and those nominations for director and ensemble. So it's really cool just to see that project come to life, especially at a place like the Music Box Theater, just seeing your work on a screen like that, and the whole, like, the audience, and it's just like it's such a great feeling, like, just like for any short film that's made, like, there can be so many struggles and stuff that happen on set, and all that, but at the end, when you're sitting down and you have the chance to just watch it on a big screen with an audience, and then at the end just seeing their reaction, the clapping or saying, hey, good job, or that, and it just makes it all worth it in the end. And just like little things like that, even if it's just like one person, just giving you that confidence, like, hey, this is awesome, keep it up, and there's just so much to it. I mean, it may seem so small, but it's as an artist, it is so just fulfilling to hear that, especially when we're just starting out, like when I was little and I was making those silly videos that were just so like cringeworthy and embarrassing, but I would show it to like my parents, and they loved it. They just loved that we were being creative, and they were just like, these are funny, you should make more. And hearing that, especially at a young age, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll make more. And then, we just made more, and that's just important.
I love that. Yeah. It's important to embrace your inner creativity when you can. And yeah, just pushing through and keep moving forward and continuing to craft, even if it's in a different art form. Like, kind of, I feel like podcast is a beautiful art form in a different way as well. Like, it's another creative outlet in regards to filmmaking, and maybe you want to do some painting instead, and just fulfilling your creative itch and pushing back those voices in your head being like, no, you can't do it, and just telling yourself like, yes, no, I can do it, shut up, I can.
What have been like I know we mentioned like the films that you were in, and how it was such a great process, but what have also been some of like the highlights in your career so far as an actress, or just as an artist?
I'd say one of them for sure is, so I'm a big fan of Spongebob.
Okay, me
Spongebob.
Too. I love Spongebob.
Yeah, Spongebob is my life. When I was younger, I was going to marry Spongebob. Like, that's how obsessed.
I love SpongeBob too.
Yeah. SpongeBob.
No, seriously, because I'm sorry to interrupt, but like me and my cousin.
Please, I can talk about SpongeBob forever.
No, but me and my cousin, we would literally, or just like even today, we would literally just do so many quotes from SpongeBob. That's like half of our language. We would just.
I quote it all the time. I think the one weirdly, I think the one line I quote the most, I think, is, "You're good, you're good, you're good, you're good." I use that the most naturally. Just anytime it's like, "Am I good?" It's like, "You're good, You're good. You're good. But yeah, no, I love SpongeBob. I grew up on SpongeBob, and now there happens to be a SpongeBob musical that's out. And I've been fortunate enough to be in it twice, two different companies, two different productions. But in one of them, I was the understudy for SpongeBob, and then I got to go on stage and be SpongeBob for two performances, which was amazing. And I literally blacked out. I don't really remember the performances or what I've done in them, but I got to be SpongeBob, which is so exciting for me. Like it's no Broadway, it's no huge major production. It's a beautiful storefront production here in Chicago, which the Chicago storefront community is amazing and spectacular, and you can see some gorgeous productions here in Chicago, even like the smallest of spaces. But yeah, I got to be SpongeBob in the SpongeBob musical, so that was a personal major highlight for sure for me.
Okay, yeah, no, that's really cool. Yeah, what's your favorite SpongeBob episode? I know it's kind of tough,
gosh.
but or
It's
just
so
like
hard. It
top
depends
three
on
or
the
something.
vibe. I mean, I'm a big fan of Frank and Doodle. I love
Oh
Doodle
yeah,
Bob. I mean, the camping episode is a classic. Oh God, what else? I love them all.
that's true.
They
Yeah,
mean fun. Just I guess like for me, seasons 2 and 3 are like
yeah, definitely.
elite SpongeBob.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. Like I'd also throw in season one as well. Seasons 1 through
Yeah.
3, maybe a little bit of 4, and then yeah. I mean, I've I haven't really watched like the newer seasons of it.
I
I
haven't
mean,
either. It's
and it's just
different.
like
Like it's so different.
yeah, it's different. I mean, it's been on for so long, and I just remember like I remember when I heard the news about like Steven Hillenburg passing away, who was the creator of SpongeBob. I remember
Yeah.
that. And then like after that, then I just remember they made like all of these spin-offs and the Camp
Yeah.
Coral and the Patrick Show
There's a
and
new movie coming out too soon, I think. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, with like Ice Spice, and it's like what's
yeah.
going on here?
I did get to watch so they showed the SpongeBob movie at the Music Box, I think last year at midnight.
Oh,
And it was what a community. What a feel. Like it was just the whole theater quoting the movie, and I was quoting with them, and that was so much fun. It was so good.
I remember just like even before like we did like filmmaking and all that stuff, like we would literally, me and my cousin, like my cousin, he would voice SpongeBob and I would be Patrick, and we would literally just like quote an entire episode of SpongeBob.
Gosh.
And it would literally be like at this family event, whatever family event we were at, and we would just be in the corner quoting this episode,
Mm-hmm.
which episode are we going to quote today? Let's do band geeks. Okay, let's do band geeks, and we would just quote
That's a classic one too. That's such a good one too. Oh my gosh.
there's
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
Is mayonnaise an instrument? There's oh man.
Big meaty claws.
Oh, this is good.
That's his eager face.
This is good. I like this.
Yeah, I could quote for ages. I can basically be like given a title of an episode, then I can like quote a line or a moment or but I guess to answer your question still, I guess another, like, as you're kind of mentioning, another probably like pivotal creative moment is definitely like the creation of the Breakout pilot, because that was like my first real, like, even if it was so minuscule, like now I really realize how minuscule of a production it was. It was really what started and piqued my interest of content creating and filmmaking to like an even little bit more of a actual filmmaking standard. And then another exciting piece is, I can't truly say a lot of details, but I got to be a puppeteer in a film called Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round. It's a feature film. It's still circulating in film festivals, but the best way I can describe it is it's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood meets Evil Dead. And I got to be a puppeteer on that film, which was super exciting. Like it was it's my first feature really, and then my first screen puppetry role. So I'm just very excited and eager for it to stop circulating so it can get more visuals so everyone can see the amazing work that everyone put into this insane film.
Really cool. Yeah, that's really cool, just to hear those highlights that you have, and obviously with SpongeBob, but yeah, also like the puppetry that you're doing, and like you're editing and you're also doing voiceover work. So it's really cool that you have like all these sort of like this sort of jack of all trades, all of these like stuff, you're writing, you're doing voice work, you're doing puppetry, you're editing, so I think that's really cool to have, especially as an artist being so multi-talented, because you can help out in any way that you can, like, or even just to be like a production assistant, or just it just helps to like know like a lot of the ins and outs of it. So it's really cool that you're talented and that you're continuing to to make this great work, and again, I just wish you continued success with that. And I guess I did want to ask, what have been some of those like kind of struggles that you faced so far in your artistic career?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like being an artist, there comes with a lot of struggles and a lot of no's. Like just specifically in the acting community, the number of times you put yourself out there, either by kind of the equivalent of cold calling agents and or just submitting to virtual open calls, and then just, or even getting to the extent of an audition to kind of put yourself out there, be vulnerable, and then sometimes get nothing back. Like that's always so hard, to either just to hear nothing or to put in all this effort to then get told no. Like that's always hard. That's where like imposter syndrome kicks in super hard. And truly in the world of social media, it's almost impossible to not compare yourself to other artists. Like I know there's people who I look and see on their social media and they're constantly on set, or they're constantly on commercials, or they're constantly working on things, and I just always feel like, dang, I wish that was me. And I'm sure there are people who do the same to me. I look at me and being like, oh, she's always working. And but still, like there's just constant comparisons. Like even if the person you're looking up, like I'm sure the people I'm looking up to are also looking up to other people as well. So it's just kind of this constant loop of comparisons, which is always hard because the artistic career, there's no straight path. Like there isn't an A to Z. It's A T B X Z U. Like there's no foolproof plan of how to get successful. It's just different for anyone you ask. And then of course as well, so I'm a freelancer, so I kind of do a little bit of anything and everything, but also it's, not the most stable of careers. So there's always just kind of that constant financial stress. But I try and prioritize the creative field. Like I'm a freelancer so that I have the flexibility and the time to be on call for anything last minute, or if there's a project that is interesting that I would want to do, I'm able to do it because I don't have like a 9-to-5 job that's blocking me or any of that. So it's kind of pros and cons of like, yeah, I have the flexibility to do the craft, but I don't necessarily always have the flexibility in the finance world. So those are just a few of the struggles, for sure, in the artist world for me.
I feel like it's just important for other people to hear those struggles and know that they're not alone, and just seeing them overcome those obstacles, because there's going to be obstacles. Life, life happens. Life can up and down. A lot of stuff, but I just feel like it's important to just not let those negative thoughts get to you, and you just have to remember just like why you got into it in the first place, and like I said, for me, just like looking back at those silly videos I did, gives me the motivation again, or talking with one another, I feel like is really good. Talking with like your family, your friends, just getting that confidence again. And, it doesn't even have to be about film, just collaborating, or just talking with one another, being, just a human being, just, you have to remember that, all the art, the art is great, it's wonderful that we're able to do this, but at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself, and take care of others. You can't like overwork yourself. You can't force yourself to be creative. If it's not there, that's okay. If you need time to just kind of step back and take a deep breath, and that's totally fine. We can't be creative 24/7, and before we wrap up, is there any advice that you would like to give to any up and coming artist or actress out there that's listening?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say probably honestly, for everything, just have fun with what you're performing in or what you're creating. And if it is a more serious piece, find the fun in it. Just create, just do it, just live, just smile, just don't forget to laugh.
Thank you for tuning in to the Troubled Artists podcast. Have a great day.